be warm.
It's got some humidity.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to be an old church
this.
lady.
Look.
Hand me a...
This is what I'm saying. Look, I feel bad for these guys. Who is this? Asylum Records? This is not what their plan was when they produced this thing. That it would be a placemat / old lady fan in the year 2023. They thought, they're going into this thinking.
It was going to be a collector's item.
This is it. Yeah, not collected.
But now it's a beautiful piece of art. It'll live forever.
That's what they said when they pressed it.
I need to get back into my kick of making these.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one. That one's well done.
Yes, it's giving me Mars vibes.
Yeah? Some planet.
Yeah, some Neptunism.
Yeah, I dig it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. CZ Media Podcast, episode 111. These have not been as consistent as I would like, but I've been busy.
Hey.
I've been busy working on my fitness, working on my yard, working on my house.
Your health.
My health.
Your overall well-being.
And probably the best thing of them all is I have 2 new clients. So I have to do a proper day's work.
Ugh. Oh, the lives. All the lives.
And there's another one. I might have another one in the next couple weeks.
That's great.
So the CZ Media roster is full.
Absolutely.
But that's nice.
Hey, we're here. We're making it happen.
Yeah.
So that's momentum.
Every now and then I start to think, that is so weird. I've convinced these people to pay me.
Don't look behind the curtain. Never look behind the curtain.
And, and not just 1 or 2 people. It's
I
like we're talking.
hate that I had these on my shirt while we were
why?
sitting. It's such not the thing.
What is it not? Not ladylike? Not
I don't know.
appropriate?
It doesn't contribute. Okay.
2.
It would have been cooler if I was wearing them in the basement with the lights on.
Oh.
Versus just hanging them here because it's a hot day.
Oh, I see. Because you want people to look at your eyes, not what.
Not really. That's what I'm
eyes.
saying. I would have felt cooler sitting here like this.
Well, right. But if you have them on your shirt, then they can say, oh, her eyes. Wait. Her eyes or her. What protects her eyes?
These are so dark too. I have to be careful sometimes because when I'm driving, I'm like tipping them down
To be able to see.
just to make sure.
That's so silly.
They're dark sunglasses. You can see that.
Yeah. I can't do sunglasses. I don't like sunglasses. Never have. I feel so weird.
I feel like that's something, people who live in hot places, I feel like they use them less, honestly. Like when I was walking around in Brazil, I'm not seeing people just rocking sunglasses everywhere. It's like, because that's their everyday life. It's like, that's normal. But for me, it's like, where's the sunglasses? It's hurting me.
This great big ball of fire is
Oh my
causing pain.
gosh. You were literally
Oh, you know what? Should we do a
closer.
Should we do a mushroom
Oh my God.
pre-show?
Mushroom pre-show. All right. Just one. Oh my God. The last time I did this, you were like, it's mild. You're not even going to. And I took 2 of these, right?
You're supposed to take 1.
And I got super high real quick and I wasn't ready for it. And I had to go to work that day. And I was like, oh, microdose. It's going to be no big deal. And then I was like pulling up to my brother's house, like, oh my God, dude, I'm kind of high. And luckily my brother and me are like way back. Like, Cheers.
But
Hippies.
it's not a high, is it?
It was at first.
I've never taken 2 of these at a go.
It was at first. See, technically I could put this here, but I'm reserving this.
You. No, I'm church lady who needs to fan herself.
Oh, you want to talk about a podcast I really do like? Dana not like this shitty one. Anyway, fast forward. But seriously, the Dana Carvey and what's his name now?
No, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's so good. They talk about Saturday Night Live all the time.
Yeah.
And
who is that?
It's only because I want to think about it that it's not flashing to my brain.
The church lady.
The church lady, but he's not my favorite. David. It's killing me. And I feel so guilty. I like him so much. He's so funny. And I used to watch David Spade.
Oh, yeah. How can we forget Spade?
Dude, he's the best. His type of comedy, I love. It's so laid back.
Subtle.
And he's slipping stuff in like all the time.
Right.
And I just watched, rewatched Norm Macdonald's, kind of talk show from Netflix. And the first one is him and David Spade. And it's nonstop. Like,
they're both brilliant.
Gritty. And they've known each other so long. So the relationship is so, confident that they're definitely just saying whatever because they've afforded that through the relationship for all the years. So it was so funny. Yeah. And I used to sneak and watch, HBO stand-up specials. My parents always had HBO growing up. We didn't have, a lot of money, but they liked their HBO.
You liked your home box office.
They did, for sure. I had the Fraggle Rock and the stuff like that, And those comedy specials were gold. You're going to move it. Oh, I thought you were going to move it closer.
I'm getting paranoid that you can't hear it.
I thought your Beyonce breeze was just you were trying to tone it down because the effervescence was going to overwhelm us.
No, I'm hoping you can't hear a fan, but man, it's needed today. It's about
it's 90.
It's 90. It's 90 today.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. The usual stuff. Don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcasting app, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Check us out on YouTube. I do clips. I did this cool little clip of us from your last show, and I got lots of funny comments about it. Mostly is how did you do that? Did you see it? It's the one where I used AI to change us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so people were really fascinated about how I did that. And it took me a long time to make that one. It took me about 45 minutes.
That's not a long time. I love how that's a long time in your world.
45 minutes for a 15-second little clip?
It happens. It takes me a minute to rock out a business card that when it's all said and done, it doesn't look like much, but what it took me to get there. Maybe I should be embarrassed.
Well,
my process is my process.
I could have had it done in 10 minutes, but I chose each time I went back and forth between us. I chose a new style each time. So in essence, I redid it 6 times.
I had some favorites.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't care about how it looked really because some transitions but it didn't matter. I just think that it just looked funny.
It was cool.
So I'll do another one of us with this. So check us out on YouTube. And then don't forget the sponsors, Rancho Bravo Tacos. Those $6 margaritas right now on a hot day.
Dude, you had me at tacos. I'm not even kidding. It's like my lunchtime. And you said tacos. I was like, maybe I'll stop by.
But can you believe this? I've been craving tacos almost every day for over a week.
Well, I've been in Brazil, so we haven't been eating tacos. And one of the first things I said to Fabricio when we got back, I was like, what if we had Mexican food? Like real Mexican food.
Did you go?
No. But we did have wings recently that was delicious. So what's really funny is the day we got back from Brazil, and we were there for 5 weeks.
Man, that's a good vacation.
Yeah, and we did so much. We totally maximized all the time.
Did you go to the Jesus?
Oh, no. Fuck that.
No?
I've gone once. I did the Jesus once. I will never do the Jesus again. I didn't tell you what happened to me
No.
when I went to Jesus.
What happened when you went to Jesus?
When I went to Jesus.
So you found Jesus.
Oh, God, no. My grandmother is super Catholic, so we went to Rio, and this was the first time Fabricio had been back to Brazil since he was like 18 or 19. And so we had to go there for immigration stuff and all this. And when we went to Rio, we're like hanging out at the beaches. We're going out. Lucas is with his grandparents, with Fabricio's parents. So we're like 2 young adult people. You see how I call myself young? You like that? Was cute, right?
Well, this was a while ago, right?
No, fuck that. It wasn't that long ago. But I'm giving myself the big Y,
Oh, okay.
the young. So
I thought you were talking like
we're 2
early 2000s.
parents now with no kid in one of the coolest cities I've ever been to. And
Crazy time.
we're getting to do what we want when we want, wake up how we like, go where we want to go, no negotiations,
Right.
0 crying fits,
Nope.
you know. So anyway, that was super cool. And then I told Fabricio, hey, like, I can't tell my grandmother that I went to Rio, home of the Cristo, and I didn't go
You didn't
see
go
the
see
Cristo.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Right.
and I was like, we got to make a time where it's totally my plan. And then we're like checking it out. The little city part is really cool around there. And then, ironically, the coolest part for me was that the train that takes you up to the top of the Cristo is the original electric train in all of Brazil. It is the first.
Huh.
And it's still running today. And so it was cool. And you're like, it's really kind of cool because you're like on the edge of a ravine that looks out at all of the ocean and the beautiful view that's in Rio. And then you go to the top and then it's like where the train stops. And then you got to hike up. By the way, if you're old or have bad knees or anything like this,
Don't go.
go when you're young because that is a hike. I'm in good shape. I use my legs a lot, and that was a lot of steep stairs.
How far?
I saw
further?
people taking breaks. Oh, I mean, like multiple tiers of stairs
Oh, okay.
that are like starting to wind, and they're open, kind of open air. They're really wide.
But there's stairs at least.
But there's stairs,
Okay.
and then, but that's it. Like, once you're at, like, if you're in a wheelchair, you're not going to see the Cristo unless
Right.
you got some tough homies carting you up to the top
yeah,
because
pulling
there's
you
no
up.
elevator. Once you get to the top where the train is, you're hiking, and you got to climb all the stairs. And I saw people taking breaks. People taking breaks on the way up and people taking breaks on the way down. So you go up and like the views are hitting you from the sides of the stairs
Right.
too. So then you go to the top. But here's the thing, and I'm sure I've told you, I am deathly afraid of heights. And I don't think
I didn't know that. Did I know that?
I don't know, but it's like a debilitating fear for me. And I've tried to conquer it, and it's just, oh my God, it hits me in such a panicked way that I was walking up, and there's something different about going up. I was just looking at the steps in front of me and just going up. But once I got to the top, I couldn't handle it at all. I was freaking out so bad. And like they have these like perimeter ledges, right? But on the others, and they're only like waist high or like armpit, not even armpit high. It's not that high. And so they're all around, and then it just drops off, and you see ocean, and you see Rio, and it's like all of this, right? But for me, it looks like a crazy drop off, and you're so high in the sky, and there's like land on the other side of these ledges, but you can't see it from where I'm at.
Right.
And people are like standing on it and taking pictures.
Right.
I can't even look around. And I end up sitting at the base of Christ's feet, like looking at the ground, like just waiting to get the fuck out of there.
It's like, all right, baby.
No, Fabricio was like, come just real quick, let's take a picture. I was like, I can't do it, dude. I like wanted to cry. Yeah, I like tried to, but here's the thing, like when I'm so afraid of heights like that, if somebody bumps me, or I'm like freaking out.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm falling out of the sky, and my knees are like tingling with anxiety, like I'm gonna fall right now. It's
right.
It takes over my body, and it's so vivid. And for all the crazy things I've done in my life, and I jumped out of a plane, I'm still super afraid of heights. I can't master this.
Yeah.
And so, or maybe, you know, to a degree, but it's not like I'm just like, oh, no problem. And Fabricio's like standing on the ledge, and I'm seeing little kids like jump, and it's like terrifying me just to see other people. Like I can't handle it. So I'm like freaking out. I'm like sitting at the bottom. Fabricio's like having strangers take his picture, and he's doing all this cool stuff.
It's like my wife is over there.
This was my idea. And I'm having a melt, and I'm the only one up there having this problem.
Right.
Like it's obvious. People,
and no sympathy for you
No,
because everyone else is enjoying themselves.
Oh, they're just like, Cristo, this is the best. I like tried to walk around a little bit, but I'm like hugging the edge of the Cristo, and just like, there's like a little church there, but not everybody's allowed in there. So I like just kind of like peeked in.
How do you get access?
I don't know. It seemed very specific, and it was like, you know, like 4 or 3 people, and like you can't bring certain stuff in there, and it was like very sacred, which I mean, obviously I respect that, but like,
what's the Brazilian Orthodox Catholic called? Is that what it is?
Catholic, the Católica.
Well, right, but there's like Orthodox, where like mega Catholic.
No,
like
it's
Russian Orthodox.
No, like Católica is Católica.
Like they wear, the priests wear those weird, scary robes.
I don't know.
And
They have hats. A lot of other religions there too. They have some Afro religions like the Candomblé, and they have like a lot of like Lutheran, Baptist. No, I don't know about that, but like the Candomblé is like a Afro religion that you know, is highly represented there too. So it comes with very specific clothing and white clothing and things like that, and cultural dances and stuff. But either way, obviously with the Cristo there, this is a huge part of their culture.
Yeah.
And like people are just so excited to be there, and I'm like freaking out. So yeah, I was real glad when I got back on the train. And what's even funnier, this is ridiculous, but like when you get there, they do like a staged photo. Everybody who buys a ticket for the train, they prop you up in front of like a tourist thing. They're going to sell you the photo after. And it's like you standing in front of the Cristo. So me and my husband do the thing. And that was the only photo we actually got of us in front of the Cristo. And it was fake.
That works though.
Yeah, it's in the house. I put it in a frame.
You didn't need photographic evidence to remind you of your panic attack.
Oh no, Fabricio saw it. He was like, "Oh, that shit is real." So this time in Brazil, we went to. I gotta stop doing it to myself. It's the worst. We went to this super awesome hot water park, and it's called
Hot Water Park.
It's called Hot Park.
Hot Park.
Yes, all the water in the park. I heard there's a cool cold pool somewhere, but it's all like bathwater warm, like
naturally, like from a hot spring.
No. This is like a water park with slides, lots of children, inner tubes, little.
That is heated.
Super heated, and it's Brazil's winter there right now. So we're there in their winter. So the hot park is kind of the jam.
Is the hot park always the hot park? In the summertime, is it a regular?
Yes. Nope.
Okay.
Come on now. I've met plenty of Brazilians at this point. They don't like that cold water, not at all. And when I went, they don't like cold nothing.
Right.
They're like offended by the cold. They're always like, what are you doing with your life? This is miserable. So like, we're at the hot park, but you know, just even his dad, we went to Bahia and we stayed at a bungalow, like half a football field, less than that, and you're like at the beach. We walk. There's a little like grass. There's a pool and a grass area, then a fence, some palm trees and some grass, then a fence and the beach. So the fence just blocks off people from the beach coming into our area, basically, right?
Yeah.
And so first day, as soon as we got there, you know, we came from Seattle. We want some real beach.
Yeah.
And we get Lucas and we go down there, and Fabricio's dad's with us, and he was like, oh, the water's kind of cold. And we walked in there. It was so warm. It was so warm. And I was like just cruising with my jean shorts, just like knee high, just like, this is amazing. It was so good. But for them, that's very cold.
It's cold.
They're not into it.
They're tropical people.
Oh my gosh. And his dad lives in a city with no beaches. So like even that warm beach water is like, oh,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
cold.
he's the real heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
They don't
cement
want
and-
he doesn't want AC in the house. He doesn't like AC. That is like their running temp, right? And so the hot park is like the way to go because it's fancy and they pay to have them all the water warm. They had this crazy like basically a restaurant, but like, you know, like Tahitian bungalow style restaurant in the water. So you sit in this hot water and then and it's sand on the bottom, which is really cool. And then they're like doing a music show. There's like a performance,
But you're in the water.
and you're in the water and they're serving you drinks and food and, you know, and you're just swimming off those calories, girl. So
I get having drinks in the water because, you know, we've been to poolside bars, but I'm not sure how I feel about the eating in the water.
it's weird, right? I know, but like the thing is they're playing these music shows. So you're there for a while. You're sitting in this water for so long.
I see these videos on Instagram where they're in a luxury resort, it looks like, and then there's this huge platter that they put on the pool it's floating. And it's like it's full of food. And it's like, I don't want people with their drippy chlorine water hands
P.S.
reaching
You
over.
can put it on the edge and I can just swim up to it. I'm fine with that.
I don't want wet hands hovering over my plate of food, especially if it's like a buffet style.
Okay, can I be honest with you? When you've been drinking for
It doesn't
5
matter.
hours and somebody puts some fucking fried shrimp in front of your face, the care goes
I guess.
away. You just start bobbing for shrimp.
I think I would care. Yeah, I don't know how. That isn't something that I
No,
would
but think
pay
about
for.
it. Shrimp tail, you just grab the end. Okay, that can be a little chlorine. You're not eating that part.
The video that I've seen,
Dip it.
it had to have, I'm saying it had to have been in Mexico, but I think it was in Mexico because there was like a bunch of tacos. It was like a charcuterie of
How
tacos.
dare you assume that Mexico holds the ownership of all tacos? They've become international.
Those Brazilian tacos.
Didn't see a lot of those.
No?
Nope.
There's no tortillas in Brazil?
No, not like that.
No. I think tortillas are exclusive to Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Arizona. I think California's got a couple. Just saying.
Man,
But don't you think we're kind of craving tacos? Because we're talking about.
I could eat tacos.
Yeah.
And
It might be taco. What is it? Taco Tuesday.
is it Taco Tuesday?
It's Taco Tuesday. Oh, I'm going to surprise my husband.
With some tacos?
Yep, we're doing it. I'm going to buy cabbage today after jujitsu class.
Cabbage tacos.
No, I put cabbage on the top. I do a little.
Mexicans don't put cabbage on their tacos.
I don't give a shit. This Mexican does. Okay. I shred it so fine. Purple cabbage. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, they do too. Okay. Street tacos. Yeah. With a little.
Not on tacos.
Oh, I do. You're wrong.
Where did you see this?
Who has said I have to see it? I do it. I do it. I also put green olives in my ground beef. Okay, which is fantastic.
Ugh.
No.
That is disgusting.
No, I chop it so fine it makes it salty in a great way.
You know what? I'll put salt on it instead of nasty olives.
I'm going to make you try my...
I'm never eating at your house because I'm going to automatically assume you put olives in everything.
I do a little like plate and you can put what you want, but I do the green olives in there. And when I don't, Fabrizio's disappointed because they are delicious. And here's another thing. I never used to think, I didn't really used to like green olives. And then I started reusing them in a different way. And now I do. If I use them in a more seasonal way instead of actually like eating an olive.
There's no way in which a green olive is edible.
You're wrong.
They're disgusting.
You're wrong. Agree. It's agree.
No, I only eat meat. That's what exclusively for the last 3 months.
She said. Oh my God.
Just steak, a little bit of chicken, some fish, but meat.
Oh,
and
dude.
if it's a vegetable, then Brussels sprouts. I love me some Brussels sprouts.
I like Brussels sprouts too.
Or some broccoli with cheese.
With cheese. You know what I do with broccoli that I think you would love? I do like a garlic powder on top with a little bit of like a coarser salt and like a spray oil, like an avocado oil with some garlic and some salt and pepper. And then I broil it. And it's so crispy, yummy.
Broiling is good for vegetables.
Love it.
Last night, I grilled up some steak, some bratwurst.
Or like some bratwurst.
And we air fried zucchini. And that was dinner.
That's interesting. I like zucchini too. I do like some zucchini. I like to do zucchini, potatoes, and carrots together with some like grilled onions. So good.
But it needs some meat.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. I don't know. It's weird. After having Lucas, I don't eat meat like I used to. Before I was like the steak and potato girl, like all the Brazilian barbecue, and now it's like, I don't know, something about my body has just said like, I think you've had enough, you know, but I can do like the ground beef. But even when we make steak, I just have like a little bit. But you know, I like like a slow cooked, something like this, like a slow cooked pot roast or something like that. But
I tried my hand at a brisket last weekend.
Oh, that's different.
I failed.
Oh, it falls apart if you do it right.
I did not do it right.
Do you have a slow cooker?
I have a smoker.
Yeah, my brother has one, and he's been brisketing it up.
Yeah, he needs to teach me how to do it because, well, I know exactly what mistakes I made.
Here.
The first mistake was I cut the full brisket in half, which is what you're not supposed to do. And then the second was I just
the brisket.
I didn't trim it correctly, and I overcooked it. And it's even easier to overcook because it was cut in half.
Oh yeah.
So but I ate it all though. I ate my mistake, and I need to be more. That was a $53 brisket. They're expensive.
Oh yeah.
It was like $4 a pound, but it was like
it's a chunk of meat.
It was a 16-pound. It was a 16-pound chunk of meat.
Yeah.
I can't make too many of those mistakes. I think that I've learned how to properly slow cook pork. The last two Boston pork butts that I've made have been pretty good. And I think the next time that I do it.
It's so funny because you said that and I wanted to respond. I love pork butt.
I love pork butt. It's delicious.
It's delicious.
Put a big pork butt in front of me.
Oh my gosh.
I'll go to town on that.
The shame.
Little barbecue sauce.
Or lack of shame.
Get barbecue sauce all over my face.
Oh my God. It's the best. Hey, man. You bought the smoker. You got to use it.
Hey. I also want to try the smoked salmon. A nice smoked salmon.
See, I hate salmon. Can't do it.
I can understand it, but
I don't know why, but do you hear that too?
No.
Sounds like it got louder.
yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So anyway,
At least I hope so.
I just didn't really like, I don't know, something. It's like too rich for me. I like the lean fish more, white fish, stuff like that. Ahi, cod, halibut. But the salmon, very rarely does somebody make salmon and I'm not faking it, eating it.
We just had some the other day.
No, and it's like I like sushi and like I can tolerate sometimes if it's in there, but like if I can just get a roll with tuna, I prefer.
See, I like tuna, like a fish of the chicken of the sea tuna from a can. I don't like that.
No, I'm talking about ahi.
Oh, like a real piece of tuna. Yeah, that's
yellowtail or yeah.
Yeah, that is delicious.
Yeah.
I don't like the canned tuna.
Well,
Although
I
what I
make
was
a
doing,
crazy good tuna melt though, like world famous. It's
you
okay.
can keep that and your green olives.
Oh, I will. I will, sir. But do you like a pickle?
I love pickles.
I love pickles. Okay, so we're back to being friends again. Just trying to fix it.
No, the last time that I made I was making these tuna patties where I would take tuna, put like 3 cans in a bowl, put like 4 eggs,
Oh yeah.
put a tiny little bit of breadcrumbs.
You were on a diet?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then make them into patties and then just saute them, cook them. And then I would do that and then just smother it with hot sauce and then just eat it.
that's hardcore.
Yeah, because it's a mega protein.
Yeah.
I mean, the breadcrumbs, I only tried that for the first few just as a binder. But then I stopped doing that because they would still just fall apart.
Yeah.
But you know what? Actually, I would eat that. Because it's just
That
fuel.
just turned 360 so quick. You just fully, or 180 at least.
Because it's easy and it's quote unquote good for you.
What about boiled eggs?
I don't like boiled yolks.
Interesting.
I'll eat.
But I season them.
No, like deviled eggs, bleh.
Oh my God, I make such a good deviled egg too.
No,
Potato salad.
no. That is all the most disgusting of foods. I don't know why anyone would want to eat that. There's so much better things to eat than any of that.
Depends on who's making it.
No,
Yeah.
that's the white side of you talking.
Yeah, but my potato salad's really damn good, I gotta say. Like, I take it to parties, and every time it's gone. It's gone, gone, gone. Same thing.
Not to a Brazilian party.
No, but that's not true. Their potato salad is gnarly, and I like it, but they call it mayonnaise, and it's like cubed peeled potatoes just sitting in mayo with carrots, like kind of steamed peeled carrots and sometimes peas. And it's like heavy.
That's the imperialist effect on the people.
But that's a potato salad.
So you were there for 5 weeks. That was a good. What was the main reason? Just as a summer vacation?
No, I mean yes and no, but like, I mean, we've been trying to go once a year regardless, and my school programs stop in the summer, and then Fabricio threw a 70-year birthday party for his dad. And then the next week we went to Bahia. That's kind of like the vacation part. And then we came back. And then the next week, Fabricio graduated to get his contramestre cord.
Oh.
And competed in their competition, their Candeas Open. And so they do like a tournament And then
What does
Fabricio won.
contramestre mean?
It's one before mastery.
Oh.
So it's 1 degree before master.
So that's super exciting. Is he super excited?
And it's a new title that has master in it. Contramestre.
Yeah.
So it is really cool. He got new T-shirts made with it say Contramestre Fabricio. So somebody's excited.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Fabricio.
Oh, he earned it. And that's the thing. So he did the tournament. I'll show you the videos later. He did the tournament and he dominated. And he came from, all the local Brazilian dudes there, and he competed at the highest level of the contramestres. The masters didn't compete. So they started from the bottom and worked their way to the top. And so he ended the tournament and he dominated the tournament and won the whole thing in front of Lucas and his parents.
And this was while you were down there?
Yeah. And his home city. And he kind of was like the outsider guy who's been in America and coming back to test Brazilian capoeira. It's there's a little novella there.
Yeah.
It's
so when he's
let's see what the outside guys got. This is real capoeira. Brazilian capoeira is the real deal. And the truth is it is in a way, because here, if those people played you here, the people here would be offended. What's this guy's problem? But that's how they play every day. It's play for keeps. They're not pulling their kicks like that. They're not, they're doing all the takedowns in all the games all the time. And it's good strategy, good sport. It's not personal, and sometimes it is personal and they don't give a fuck.
So when he's here, who trains him?
He teaches his classes at the same place I teach my classes. Yeah. I teach kids earlier in the day, and then a half an hour later, he has his own adult class.
No, but how does he get back? Because I'm assuming everyone needs a teacher,
a mentor.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about being a master and being a professor. That's kind of on you to go out there and train and seek it out, because you don't necessarily train with your mestre. We have professors who are in DC. Mestre Curisco lives here. So they're not training with him on the daily basis. They've got to be proactive about.
Does that happen?
Elevate their game. It doesn't, right? Those who rise, and those who fall off, fall off.
So what's below contramestre?
Professor.
So he was a professor, and then you go participate in this competition where you earn.
That has nothing to do with it. No, it's totally separate. He was already knowing he was going to graduate to contramestre this year. His mestre announced it. He told me.
So who's his mestre?
Mestre Suino.
And where's he?
He's in Goiânia, Brazil.
Oh.
In Fabricio's home city. But the group itself is all over the world.
I see.
Literally.
I see. So I guess my question is how does his mestre know that he's ready for this contramestre promotion?
Fabricio has been playing capoeira since he was 11. He's a 37-year-old man now. He's almost 40 years old. He's been playing capoeira a very long time. His capoeira is efficient. He's running his own school. He knows how to play the instruments. As he graduates to a level of professor or instructor, they do kind of formal testing, where it's you got to show me the skills you have. I got to see you can play these rhythms and these instruments, but they're not going to test you on that again when you're contramestre, because you proved it years ago, right? So it's about the maturity of game. And also seeing what you've done in the community, what you're doing in your hometown, as far as you're running your own group, you're maintaining your group, you're training, you're going here, you're going there. And his mess sees that. And
Okay.
also other people who are getting graduated before him. Like there's some people that graduated recently to professor. I mean, they're not the same level as him. Like he's obviously evolved past that by now.
Yeah.
You know? And again, it's kind of obvious, you know, and his vocabulary of the game, his understanding and knowledge. They also do tests of knowledge. And it's kind of like a evolution because like his mastery comes to stay with us. And it's like our honor to host his mastery at our house, right? And he asks him questions and philosophizes with him and shares information with him and sees him at other events. And so he's getting the picture, you know,
How often does that happen?
What?
Where his mestre comes
Once
does
every
these
2
assessments.
years or,
Okay.
you know, sometimes Fabricio flies his mastery out. But if somebody else flies him out, he'll still probably stay with us.
I understand. Yeah, because that was my curiosity is like, who trains him so that he gets better?
No, and they talk. Well,
Yeah.
Fabricio, the way they train, honestly, is when they get invited to the events, okay, even if it's just like to Austin or to New York or wherever, right? Me too. I'm not going to exclude myself. I take the workshops, I play here, I play with these people. And so you're developing your game, you're taking new workshops, you're training new sequences in the gym and whatever, and trying them out in your classes. And then again, it starts to be an evolution about the classes as well. Like, you know, seeing your students is a reflection of you.
Yeah.
So
there's... yeah, because there's so many groups. Are there tons of organizations? So, for example, boxing, there's 4 different. Well, there's maybe more than that. Let's just say there's 3 to 4 organizations, and each of those organizations has their own fighters, their own championship levels, but they're still all separate. Versus UFC, which is one umbrella.
I mean, it can be both. It can be all of that or none of that. Like, say they do the Candeas Open, right? There was nobody competing that wasn't Candeas. Okay.
And that's your group.
That's Fabricio's group.
Oh, okay.
And so the guy who won last year, who was the first person Fabricio fought this time, he's from Candeas, but he's not from that city. So he doesn't train with Mesuino. He's from like a chapter of Candeas. He's like from the, whatever the name of his city chapter. And then there's the Kirkland chapter. Then there's the Mexico chapter. There's the Peru chapter. So
they all work independently?
But under Mesuino. So like if they want shirts, if they are talking about politics of how the group should run, how their classes should be run, things like historical things that maybe they should be knowing that like the mastery wants to focus on. Like, hey, I want to make sure that you guys are sharing the history of our group or sharing the history of this and that this is also being passed along.
So it's pretty group centric, not necessarily a bunch of groups under one organization.
No, not at all. Capoeira is not unified like that. But what I will say is that Red Bull now is throwing an event, and then
of course, Red Bull.
Yeah,
we were talking to a buddy the other day about Red Bull makes those extremely inexpensive commercials that go on TV, right? The little drawings, which is just someone flying away. That's really all the TV exposure they have, but they spend tens of millions of dollars at every event that you can think of.
Sports active
with
event.
Sports, with what they do. It's like they are, if you want to talk about a company that puts money back into its customer base, it's Red Bull.
Oh yeah, I mean our first B-boy event, major B-boy event that my boyfriend ever threw was a Red Bull event. He approached Red Bull about throwing an epic event, and it was free to the public. They did a full page ad in The Stranger, and they had it in an airport or airplane hangar. And then they put up all the B-boys that were the guests being flown in, the featured B-boys, at the W Hotel. Like, they had never been treated like that before. We were like the first ones to wasn't me, to sophisticate the whole forum and makeup to make it. They had a $10,000 dance floor made by the people who make the NBA floors. That was unheard of.
Yeah.
And then they put the Red Bull logo on top. And ever since then, it's been evolving.
Well, like that, they easily got their money back from people buying.
No,
people
they
buying
totally have blown up that whole, like the Red Bull BC1 B-Boy competition is like one of the #1 competitions in the world for B-Boying. And now they've expanded it to other dance styles, and now, of course, and then Capoeira, and you know.
It would be fun to work for Red Bull.
Listen to this. The #1, not right now, but for many years, the #1 champion in the Red Bull competition was a guy named Naguim from Brazil, who was a capoeirista. So, I mean, and there's other B-boys out there that are really high up in the levels that have done and do capoeira. So it just seems very natural that would happen. And it's really cool because now it's kind of taking capoeira and bringing it into this other light. And now it's not about the groups anymore. Now it's like best of the best.
Right.
And it's cool. You see that.
Did you read that?
Do you hear a train?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. I did do the mushroom.
I confirm we were trained.
Yes.
Hearing a train. Did you read that they're going to put? Oh, look, this matches with
B-boying in the Olympics.
In the Olympics.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's been on the table for a while now, and they've been talking about it, and they've been going. It's kind of a crazy thing, just because of the fact that the Red Bull events, the other events like this have been going on for so long.
Yeah.
That in my opinion, I mean, they've already established the world competition of the dance.
Right.
Right. And have been doing this for a very long time. But it takes it out of the bubble and parameters of breaking and the hip hop culture. Because now it's like, oh, okay, hip hop culture, you go over there. I'm not interested in that. But people who watch this, what the crazy thing, I mean, everybody, grandmas and sisters and brothers and grandpas and this and that.
Everyone watches
it. So it's kind of like opens the forum. So in a way, if it's done with integrity, it gives more validation to these people who are really athletes. They really are. They're artists and athletes. It all is going to come down to who they are having judge these competitions because it is an art form, and the artistry, it's because it has to be separate from gymnastics. Right. You know what I mean? And that's another thing, because like the gymnasts are crazy, but these people are doing crazy beyond gymnast stuff.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's like there has to be a trained eye to be able to differentiate the really, when you get on that level, just the little things that make one person above the other. So that's going to be the thing. But from what I'm seeing in the breaking community, it's being supported by the breaking community for the most part. I think they want the validation and the recognition. Not just the recognition, because it's like, how many kids are out there like breaking in their garage or in their basement or in their living room, and their parents are like, oh my gosh, what are you doing with your life and whatever? And this might give them, like, the thing is, like in Korea, those kids are sponsored by the government. They are getting money to practice, money to train. Nowadays, there's more of these people getting sponsored by Nike. I've seen a lot of B-girls who've been in the game for a long, long time who are now getting sponsored by Nike, who are now getting, you know, that kind of opportunity to do it as a sport and to be athletes at this. Whereas before it was like, even my dad was like, she doesn't think she can make money at this.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, I think I listened to that too much. I didn't believe in myself that I actually could have it as a career, and missed a little bit of a moment to like really keep pursuing it and believe in it and keep going on the trajectory that I was.
Well, that happens across all creative forms. You know, if you're a writer, there's always that doubt at first of, can I make money or this? If you're a painter.
Yeah, but if you're a dope football player, a lot of people's parents are been like, oh, he's got a talent for this, I'm going to push him. He can get to college with that. You can't get into college for b-boying. So it's like,
yeah, I guess that's true.
It doesn't feel like the same opportunity, right?
Well,
and then you see the neighbor kid get sponsored by Nike. You're like, oh, you're going to get sponsored, or Red Bull. The Red Bull sponsorship is huge,
You know,
and now they're turning. Sorry, but now they're also being able to, because of Red Bull and these people throwing. Now they have MCs, like they have sportscasters for football games. They have dancers doing the narrative on the battles.
You know, YouTube and all of these other places where you can post your own stuff has definitely increased the ability for people to make money off of their passion. I got a new tattoo on my left shoulder.
I love it. Let me see. Why aren't you just wearing tank tops every day, my man? Brassos are brassoing. Oh, you're going to do another one in the back? Was that there before?
Yeah.
This one was there before?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll show it to you better in a little bit. But thanks to Aaron over at Black River Tattoo Shop in Renton. Here, I'll tell this story real quick. I went to a bunch of shops because I had this horrible piece on my left shoulder that I hated. And I've been wanting to cover it up for years now. But I've been to, I don't know, over five different shops, showed them my left shoulder and said, like, I want to cover this up. And every one of these artists, they just weren't interested. I didn't see any excitement. I didn't see any of, all of them were like, oh, you know what? Because the piece that I hated
you all the reasons why it can't work it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's, they used a thick gauge and that's a lot of black lines and, it's going to be tough. And then, no one told me no, but they pretty much told me no. But, and by
the way, the people that don't have the confidence to do it are not the people you want doing it.
Well, I think that and I might piss some artists off, but it could be that a lot of tattoo artists are lazy. Like, they don't want to do custom stuff. They want people to just walk in, point at a flash art on the wall and say, I want that, and want to do that because they've done it 100 times. There's really there isn't anything custom about it. And I
think people are really afraid of going out of their comfort zone because it compromises their name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they're not the cover up guy and they're not, that's not really their thing, and they don't feel confident that they can do the thing, they start trying to talk you out of it. Yeah.
And then, but then they don't want to say no because obviously they don't want to say no. But I just got a lot of that. I got a lot of no energy, lots of reasons why it's going to be difficult. And then they then they can try to charge you more because it's so hard. So 3 weeks ago, we went and Renton had a Renton pub crawl. So we went on this pub crawl and I walked across Black River and introduced myself to Aaron and showed him what I had. And he just smiled right away. And then he's like, bro, that's a big piece. It's like, that's a lot of ink. And it's like, what do you want to cover it with? And it's like, well, sugar skull. It's like, I love sugar skulls. And then I showed him my other sugar skull. He's like, yeah. And then he was still smiling. And then I could see in his eyes that he was thinking. And
he already had ideas.
It was like, man, it's like, we could make a dope piece. Like right away he said that.
Yeah.
And then I said, and then I asked him a few more questions, and then, he did say, man, it's going to be big. He's like, you are going to use a lot of ink, but we can definitely make something cool out of this. So I'm like, okay. And then I, we went back, we went back home, and then, I don't know, like 3 days later, I sent him a text message and I said, could you get a sketch of what you think could replace it? And I know that that's a no to ask artists to do a sketch without commitment, right? Because they don't want, I mean, obviously they don't want to take the time to do an act,
totally.
Think of a concept.
No, and drawing it out is time consuming.
It's like, yeah, I mean, I know that that's a no, but I wanted to send it to him just to see what he would do. And this guy, like 2 days later, sent me a sketch.
Yeah.
And then he goes, here, I thought that this would look good on it. And then he goes, send me a picture of your tattoo again, just to make sure that I remember it correctly. And I sent it to him. And then he goes, yeah. He goes, I think this would work great. And then I said, if you think that, if you dig the project, actually was what I sent him. I said, if you dig the project and think that it'll be a super cool piece, I'll book. And then he went, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just said, okay. Then, after that, then I asked, how long do you think it'll be, and what's your rate?
Yeah.
So he told me all of that, and we do it 3 days later. And Cody, I sat in that chair for 7 hours. It took 7 hours to do my left shoulder.
I believe it. It's a lot of line work in that too.
The first hour was uncomfortable. The next 2 hours were okay. The next hour hurt. The fifth hour was okay. But the last hour and a half, brutal.
No, I think it's like your mind knows it's finishing and you're just so over it by then.
And at hour 5, he goes, we're almost done, man. We're almost done. And then he goes, oh, how would you feel about adding another rose? And then I'm like, bro, it's like, well, do whatever you think is going to make this look cool. It's like, this is your expertise. Yeah. I fully trust you. He goes, okay. So then he added another rose. And then he was talking on the phone with, I'm assuming it's his girlfriend. And then he goes, yeah, I'll be done in about an hour. And then his shop assistant was there. And then when he hung up, his shop assistant said, no way you're going to be done in an hour. It's like, you still have so much shading to do. That hour was 2 hours.
Yeah.
So then that was hour 5 and 6. And then we stopped at hour 7.
Did you see Fabrizio's tattoo that he got when we were in Brazil? So he has his whole sleeve done here, and then he decided he's going to do the inside. And same thing, like every day. He was like, oh, I think I'm going to be home at this time. And it was just like, not. No. And he did 2 days, but he did like a big wolf here and a big bear on the inside.
It's this inside of your arm is, I think I still have, look at this. From where he was putting pressure on my arm. Yeah. I had this huge bruise. And then I don't bruise easy.
Yeah.
I just do not bruise easy.
Yeah, but when are you whacking the inside of your arm on stuff? You know what I mean? Like, seriously, this doesn't get a lot of
action,
Well,
sometimes I just, for fun, I just like to uppercut myself.
Yeah. Just like a bear just scratching it on trees.
That's right.
I'm a man.
Yeah. So many thanks to Aaron over at Black River.
I might want to check him out. I've got a specific thing I'm trying to do right now.
I mean, I've had 3 people say I'm going to have to go check him out. He moved back to Hawaii this past weekend.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He says he's going to come back because I have some other ideas. Like, I want to touch up my right shoulder.
It's just my look.
And, but I told him, man, next time you are in town, I'm definitely going to book some time to get some more stuff. Well, you know what happened now? Now that I have this fresh piece on my left shoulder, it's making all of the other ones look dull.
Yeah.
So of course I want them to be
bright and shiny.
So I figure maybe a touch up.
Maybe ask him for a referral.
Yeah.
Because
he'll probably just say someone else at that same shop.
yeah, but he'll tell you the good ones.
Yeah, that's true.
I want the artist's opinion of who should do. I asked somebody a while ago, this guy who did my back tattoo, he moved and it was all crazy. And I said, well, who can I get to finish this thing?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, if you want to do it like this, this is the guy you go to. And the guy was doing such incredible work.
Yeah.
But,
and I was, I don't like to talk about pricing when it comes to artists, but I was amazed at what his rate was.
that's awesome.
If I had gotten this done in Seattle, it would have been twice as much easy.
Yeah, yeah.
It would have been those Seattle artists.
Yeah, they're paying Seattle rent.
Yeah, they're paying, $20,000 a month in rent.
Yeah.
And then need to charge that. It's just, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but man, I think, at least for the 5 or so that I've gone to in the last 5 months, they don't want to do anything creative.
Yeah.
And that is probably going to deserve a lot of hate, but they just didn't give off that.
Yeah, but that's on them, because there's
it could also be because they're not in Seattle and their rates aren't high. They just don't feel that it's worth the brain power.
it also might be where they're at as artists. That's what I'm saying. Like, if your thing is roses, I just do roses. That's my thing. Or I just do panthers. I'm like the panther guy. And you come with this whole other thing. And then
I want to be the panther guy.
Yeah.
Not Black Panther.
I
just
do.
Panther guy.
No, me too. I do.
You are female panther chick.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
That should go on a t-shirt. Female panther chick.
Cheetah chick. Cheetah lady.
Fanning herself because she's hot. That's funny.
But yes. I mean, if you're just that one trick pony, and somebody comes in off the street and says, hey, what kind of cool ideas? And they're like, shit,
yeah,
I'm the
wanker.
one trick pony, or I just do traditional, or I just do this. And there's a lot of artists out there that just like kind of try to collect their clients that do,
Right.
And then if they're gonna get some off the street moment, then they're like, okay, we'll pick something from the book.
Pick something from the wall.
Yeah.
No, I think I made my mistake of picking something off the wall from
Before. Yeah.
Nope. All right, Coty.
Super cool.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
It's been real.
Thank you for everyone for listening. Don't forget to check out the sponsors. And I will link to Aaron
Yeah.
and his work. But he was at Black River. I'm pretty sure it's Black River in Renton on 3rd Ave. And then I might take some pictures by the time I post this. I promise that I will post this. What's today? Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday.
Next. I will post this soon, not the month like our last show. I need to get back on it. I'll take some pictures of my arm just because I love it.
Oh yeah.
I think it's really cool. I super dig it. All right. Adios.
Adios. Get your tacos.